So this is the ultimate chocolate cake. We're going to make a sponge from butter, sugar and flour, and then enrich it with eggs, chocolate and milk. And as if that's not enough, we're going to cover it with a chocolate ganache and fill it with chocolate buttercream. So this really is death by chocolate. There's lots going on. As you can see, an awful lot of butter and chocolate, but this is an indulgent special treat. And that's exactly what we've been asked for, so that's exactly what we're going to do. So first thing, our butter goes into our mixer, and then sugar. Now all the quantities for this are available down below. You will need them because it's a cake and they need to be precise.
Not going to like it, Ben. Still being excited by this one.
So we're going to beat that until it's light, fluffy and pale. And over here, we can look at our other ingredients. Now, eggs we're going to need in a moment, so if you can hold on to those, Barry. And here we've got some chocolate and some milk, okay? Now, if you can just put that into the microwave, Jamie, we need to melt that down so the chocolate melts, about 30 seconds to a minute, and then we're going to add that into a cake mix later on. Now, you can see how much lighter it is now. That's all the air in there. What was yellow butter is now pale and creamy. So we can add in our eggs one at a time now, Baz.
Yep.
Good, give it a stir, Jamie. Now don't add in the next egg until the last one's been fully combined, otherwise you have a risk of it splitting. And the last one. So there we go, our cake mix. Now the last bit is to add in all the last few ingredients. Mix around the side, and then we can add in our self-raising flour, cocoa, and all of your chocolate.
Chocolate.
And then we have beat a lot of air into that, so at this point we want to try and sort of stir it together a bit more carefully. And when it's all combined, we can transfer it into our cake tins. Now we're doing a double layer sandwich cake.
Double? 2 chocolate cakes.
Well, there's a lot of mix here, so 2 chocolate cakes is plenty. So we're going to spread it out and make it a little bit more shallow towards the centre, because the cake will always rise in the middle, so that'll make it nice and even after it's done it. And then if you two can put that into our oven.
Yeah.
190 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes, and the way to check that it's cooked is just listen to it. After 30 minutes it shouldn't make any noise, no hissing, no sizzling, and then you know it's cooked. Our sponges have come out, they've had time to cool, and now you can see the lids have come off really easy because of that greaseproof paper, and we can peel that off. Now that is one amazing chocolate cake, but we're now going to take it to a level of awesomeness, okay, with a ganache and chocolate buttercream. We need to pack some cream into our pan, and that's an equal quantity of cream and chocolate, and we need to heat that up to a boil. And then Jamie, you're going to be in charge of the ganache, okay, so we need all of it, not the white chocolate, we need that for later. In fact, I'm going to put it back in the fridge. Has to be equal quantity of chocolate and cream, otherwise it won't ice properly. So if this doesn't quite work, we now know who to blame. And while we wait for the cream to heat up, we can make our buttercream, which is going to go into the middle. Okay, so this is butter.
Enough there for you?
A mountain of butter, and then twice as much icing sugar to butter for our buttercream, and equal quantities of cream to chocolate for our ganache. What also might be worth doing is just put a tea towel around it, keep as much of that dust in as possible, and then turn it on nice and slow. It's still escaping. Now, hopefully, you can see, you can start to see a nice smooth buttercream, and now we can do our ganache because our cream is also hot. Pour it straight over the chocolate, and that should be enough to melt the chocolate. So leave it for about a minute, and then after a minute, Jamie, I want you to stir it into a beautifully smooth ganache. Now we're going to do our buttercream, which needs to go into the piping bag. You can get it nice and smooth in without getting a mess later on when it comes to squeezing it. There we go, I think that's plenty for now.
Yeah.
So we squeeze that down towards the bottom. So we've got all the bits we need now, and it's time to start constructing. So we put one of our cake bases like so, and then around the bottom I've got a few pieces of greaseproof paper, which we're just going to slide in. This is what makes the decoration later so idiot-proof. Okay, so a few sheets of those. The important thing is it's not joined at the middle, but it tucks in around the edges. Now we don't want to be shy with this filling. You want the buttercream to almost be as thick as one of those cake layers.
No, you don't.
Like so. Then the next one sits on top of that.
Are you saying that? How?
Then we fill in the gaps. We need a nice smooth edge. So this is where the more time you take in making it look awesome now, the better it's going to be at the end. This is the ganache. Now this is silky smooth. Look how glossy that is. That's just cream and chocolate, equal quantities of each. And this is where it starts to get messy, because to ice it, you just pour it over and let it run. It'll run everywhere, but don't worry because you've got the greaseproof paper there to save it.
Wow.
Like that. Now, the great thing about this ganache, not only does it taste good, but it keeps in the fridge. So you can keep it in the fridge like that for a week, just melt it down in the microwave if you need to do it again. And at this point, there is absolutely nothing you can do with it but leave it.
What? Okay,
so leave it for about 10-20 minutes, that chocolate's set up, and then we'll show you the very next stage. Now that ganache is set up, we can start to peel this away. And with a bit of luck, as we take this away, we should leave quite a neat finish on our board. Ooh. Now, what's on that paper isn't going to go to waste. We can scrape all that back off later on and use it. Just great white chocolate shavings over the top with great decoration. Oh. Now, this is seriously indulgent, death by chocolate. You guys have been asking for chocolate cake for a while. There it is, our ultimate chocolate cake sorted. Nothing left to do but take a whopping great big slice of that beauty.
I'm so excited about this.
Bit of luck. The whole thing will come out like that.
Dear.
Now that is one hell of a chocolate cake. Dig in.
Gonna have to.
When you say death by chocolate, Ben, is this going to kill me?
Probably if you eat too much of it.
It's really good. It's really nice. You should try some.
Now, I think this is one of the best recipes we've ever done, but if you want to go and have a look at sortedfood.com, you can judge for yourself at the ton of other recipes that are on there.